Thank you. First, before we get our roll call started, we have a bunch of new members. For those of you in the audience don't know, the council just reappointed several of us and appointed some new members. So I'd like to go around the room, even if you were an old member, if you would, not old in age, old in knowledge. I'd like if we could have everybody just go around. If you could stand up, tell everybody who you are, who you work for, and just maybe a short little something about your service on this committee. It'd be great. And John, if you could start us out, I'd appreciate it.
Well, if I was John, that would be one thing.
I'm sorry. Mr. Siggy, my apologies.
I'm Thomas Segee. I can't even remember how long I've been on this commission, but I enjoy what we do. We help keep Old Town within the confines of what Old Town should look like. I think it's about 9 years I've been on this committee.
Sorry about my tardiness. Good afternoon. I'm Ronald Kelly. Live in Old Town. Been living there for since 2009. Yeah. So I've been there a while, and I like the neighborhood. It's a wonderful neighborhood, got its challenges, and I hope this board can help with those challenges. But yeah, that's who I am. Thank you.
I'm Kate Hambright. I'm the marker chair of the Jefferson County Historical Commission, and I'm new. This is only my third time, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Hi, Julie Strasburger. I represent a retail space here downtown Beaumont, as well as Oaks Historic District, and I'm also glad to be here.
Afternoon. I'm John Berube. On the Oaks Historic Board. I've been with them for probably 20 years. I've been a member of this committee for about 8 years now, so glad to see y'all.
Hi, my name is Kirk Thomas. This is going in my first year on the commission. I live over in the Willow Creek area. I'm a retired federal employee, retired from the Department of Veterans Affairs, and I enjoy being on the committee.
Thank you. My name's Don LaBiche. I'm an architect here in Beaumont. We do historical preservation work. Love working in the Oak District. We had used to have an office in the Oaks District, and service on this board. I think I've served almost 20 years now on this board, so been around a long time.
Hi, Linda K. Macon. Been in the Oaks Historic District for 28 or 9 years. I've been on this board right after you, and it's really great that what we do is to get together and try to improve everything and keep it historically correct. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Christina Crawford. I've lived in the Oaks Historic District for a little over 15 years. In fact, my husband and I have one of the homes. It has a plaque on it, and we were told it's the second oldest designated inhabited home in Beaumont. So we're very proud of that and love it. And I represent the Beaumont Heritage Society on this board. So, this is going into my third year.
Hi, my name is Shelby Brannon. I'm the director of Beaumont Heritage Society. We own and operate historic house museums here in Beaumont. I've been with the society going on 10 years now in different roles, and this is my first year on the commission.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ravey. I'm a resident of the Oaks Historic District, aka Old Town. For nearly 20 years, I've been on the Neighborhood Association board for the past 4 years and have authored the grant for preservation for our neighborhood as well. So this is my first time on this commission as well.
Well, thank you to all our members. Great wealth of knowledge here, particularly about our Oaks Historic District, which we all love. So with that, Susan, could you give us a roll call, please?
Chairman LaBiche?
Here.
Commissioner Berube?
Here.
Commissioner Brannon?
Here.
Commissioner Crawford?
Here.
Commissioner Hambright?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Macon,
Here.
Commissioner Provo is absent. Commissioner Raby,
Here.
Commissioner Segee,
Here.
Commissioner Strasburger,
Here.
Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, our first item of business is approval of our meeting minutes from August 11th, 2025. So with that, I would entertain any corrections or a motion to approve these minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. And we will move to our regular meeting minutes. Our first item is PZ 2025-303. It is a request for a certificate of appropriateness to support the installation of a state historical marker. Our applicant is Jennifer Trenbreth with Jefferson County Historical Commission, and the location of it is at 3930 Babe Zaharias Drive. First, could we have the staff report, please?
Good afternoon. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Elena Lucky. I'm the Planner 2 here on staff at the City of Beaumont. This is Tyron Albert. She's our Planner 1 here on staff. I'm going to present the first item today, and then she'll be presenting the next 2 items, just so you know. Okay. The Jefferson County Historical Commission is seeking support of the installation of a state historical marker from the Texas Historical Commission onto the City of Beaumont's property. The historical marker has been approved through the Texas Historical Commission Undertold Marker Program for the Patillo versus the State of Texas. The Patillo family has requested that the marker be placed near the Civilian Conservatorship Court Building in Terrell Park. On December 17th, 1930, Sadie Patillo sat in the white section of the city bus and refused to move. When she was ultimately removed, fined under the maximum penalties of under 1891 separate coach law. Patillo appealed the decision of the Court in Criminal Appeals of Texas. Patillo's attorney, William Russell Blaine, argued that the separate coach law was codified prior to the invention of the municipal bus service and only applied to railways, streetcars, and intertribune railways. The court sided with Patillo and Blaine since the law did not expressly mention buses or other public conveyances. Planning staff recommends approval of the request. On the screen is an example of where the building where the building is, and a proposed location marker. Additionally, we have Teresa Goodness here with the Jefferson County Historical Commission who can provide additional facts, as well as our Ms. Hambright.
Great. Good to see you, Teresa.
Hi, good afternoon. Teresa Goodness, Chair of the Jefferson County Historical Commission. I love to talk about undertold markers because the state pays for them 100%. We love anything the state pays for 100%. But this is a great marker. This lady, Sadie Patillo, was a teacher for close to 40 years, I believe, here in the area. And so she refused to move in the 1930s from her position on the city bus. And when she was fined, she said, no, that's not right. She sued and she won. In the 1930s. So even, quite some time before Rosa Parks, there was a lady in Texas who stood up and said, this is not right. And we love to be first in Texas, don't we?
Yeah.
So the lady, Sadie Patillo, her family was excited about this marker, and they have a certain affinity for Terrell Park. And they asked that it be placed at Terrell Park. And when we looked around the park and tried to look at the suitable location, of course, the Civilian Conservation Corps building has been lovingly restored by the city. We're really proud of it. And we thought that is a good location because a lot of people go there and would see the marker, which of course it's a teaching tool to let everybody know about our history. So we thought that would be a good location in Terrell Park, since that's what the family would like, and THC supports their request. We've conversed with them when trying to find a place to put this. We don't know exactly where the incident happened in the city, to say, it was at this bus stop or anything like that. But that's what we're asking for now, so that we can bring this history to light and let everybody know about Miss Patillo's very important step in history in our town. Okay. Is there anything I can answer?
Anyone have any questions?
Well, I did have a comment I was going to ask about, is that the actual location where, and you answered that?
We do not know.
And so does the marker say this is the location where it happened?
No.
What's the
I
marker
can
gonna
read
say?
the marker's text to you if you'd like. It says Patillo versus State. Beaumont native Sadie Patillo was born in 1897 to Mary Alice Boykin and Allison Jackson Jack Patillo. She married Anthony C. Carey and taught social studies at Charlton Pollard High School for nearly 40 years. Patillo was also a member of the Texas State Colored Teachers Association. On December 17, 1930, Patillo sat in the white section of a city bus and refused to move to the Negro section when asked. It is unclear if she was arrested, detained, or cited. Patillo was ultimately fined $10, the maximum penalty under the 1891 separate coach law. Patillo appealed the decision in the Court of Criminal Appeals of Texas. W.S. Nichols served as presiding judge. William Russell Blaine, once Assistant County Attorney for Jefferson County and Texas Division Commander for the Sons of the Confederacy, represented Patillo at trial, and he argued that the separate coach law was codified prior to the invention of municipal bus service, and the statute narrowly applied to railways, streetcars, and interurban railways. The court ultimately sided with Blaine and Patillo. Associate Justice Frank Lee Hawkins explained in the decision that since the law did not expressly mention buses or other public conveyances, the legislature might not wish to incorporate them into the statute. The decision was handed down on March 23, 1932. During the 44th Texas Legislature, House Bill 270, requiring the separate coach law to apply to commercial motor vehicles, referring to city bus services, public and private, was signed into law by Governor Miriam Ma Ferguson. The law was ultimately repealed in 1969 by the 61st Legislature. Patillo continued teaching until retirement. She died June 15, 1971, and is buried in Live Oak Memorial Park Cemetery in Beaumont. So that's the marker text that would show on the plaque that would be installed on a pole. And we are suggesting that in front of the CCC building would be a good location to bring attention to this history.
Thank you.
Sir,
How appropriate that she was a social studies teacher.
Right.
much so,
Could I add a little bit to that?
of course.
Is this, can y'all hear me? Yes. Okay, to add a little bit what you want to say, when we put up our markers, I'm the marker chair for the Jefferson County Historical Commission and couldn't ask for a better chairperson. So, but when we do put up our markers, we do want to put them up in a historically relevant spot. And in the case of this, you've got a rolling bus, so where do you put up your marker? The family did specifically request the park, and the good thing about the park is, this particular park is, it's a high traffic area. The park there, the CCC building, there's a lot of people go by there. It's a good a spot for people to come by and actually read the text of the marker. So it's a good spot for an educational tool, such as a marker, a plaque, to be set up. And so we know that it's going to get a lot of good visibility there. And so we're just really excited that the family did actually want to place it there in the park. So we think that it's going to be just a really ideal location for it there. There, yes, there's a good parking lot in front of it, and actually on the side of the building, there are walking trails all by the building. There's lots of good driving. I went out there on a weekend, and you wouldn't believe the number of people that are just walking and driving and cycling past that building. It's really incredible. And that's not just local people. We also have a lot of out-of-town people that come in specifically to go out there and go birding and everything else that they're doing out there. So it's just, we couldn't have picked a better spot. So we're very thankful to the Patillos for choosing that location.
If I may add a little more information as well, Terrell Park is actually a big part of the Parks for All master plan for the city of Beaumont. I'm sure many of you have seen it. It was advertised at council a handful of times. It's also been advertised throughout our city's Facebook page. But Terrell Park was looking for some big renovations coming too, so that may be something they can feature in to those renovations when they come.
Any other questions? Thank you, Teresa. All right. If there's no other questions, I'd look for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve PZ 2025-303.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We'll ask Susan to give us a roll call vote, please.
Chairman LaBeouf,
For?
Commissioner Berube. 4. Commissioner Brannon,
4.
Commissioner Crawford,
4.
Commissioner Hambright,
I'll abstain from this one since it's brought by the JCHC.
Commissioner Kelly,
4.
Commissioner Macon,
4.
Commissioner Provo is absent. Commissioner Ravy,
4.
Commissioner Segee,
4.
Commissioner Strasburger,
4.
Commissioner Thomas.
4.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is approved, and it always makes me feel good when we can do something to promote a history of our town in our area of the state. So thank you all for your work.
Thank you. Just a reminder, the state markers will go to the city council for approval to be placed on city property, but just so you know, so y'all will see that again in the upcoming agendas if you watch council.
All right, our next item is PZ 2025-311. It's a request for a certificate of appropriateness to paint a structure. The applicant is Shelley Gums, and the location is 2590 Pecos Street. We ask for the staff report.
Shelley Gomes is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to paint the brick facade of the structure at 2590 Pecos Street. She intends to paint the brick facade and the trim white. Section 28.03.018 Historic Cultural Landmark Preservation Overlay District GH2 states, brick surfaces not previously painted may not be painted unless the applicant establishes that the color and texture of replacement brick cannot be matched with that of the existing brick surface, or that the painting is necessary to restore or preserve the brick itself. The structure is not listed in the spare Beaumont survey. Planning staff recommends denial of this request. On your screens, there's a overall picture of the structure. And here's just a map of where the structure is. And we do have the property owner here.
All right, any questions for staff? Do we know how old this building is when it was built?
So we don't have the spare survey of it. Doing a little bit of Google research, it's definitely there up to 2008. And then the Google imaging doesn't go back further than that. But whenever you go to the aerial imaging, there's definitely structures there. But I can't confirm whether it's this structure or a different one.
All right. Any other questions? If not, we'll invite the applicant up. When you come up, please, if you would state your name and your address just for our records. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shelley Gums. My address is 6020 Longwood Street, Beaumont, Texas, 77707. Me and my husband just purchased this property, and basically we're just trying to beautify it. Put a little all white paint on it just to make it pop. I mean, that's all really we're trying to do. As you can see, it's just a little plain, but we did ride around the neighborhood, and they do have a lot of homes that are white. So we was like, we'll go with a white. That looks really good with black trim, you know, or whatever we have in the that's legal,
White.
you know. Yeah, white.
All right, any questions? I do agree with you that that's not probably the prettiest brick that is available out there.
Yes, sir.
Are you planning to change the shingles on the mansards also?
The shingles.
On the mansard
the
roofs?
roof. Yes, we're gonna change the roof. We'll put a new roof up.
Okay, and what color were you planning on using on those?
We was gonna do black.
What about the doors? Outside the trim, what about the doors?
Probably a brown, because I noticed that we do have a brown, but because I don't think, can we do black trim?
Well, I'm just, for the education of the commission, usually people come in with a whole color scheme and they'll say, well, the doors are going to be this color and the trim's going to be this color and these things are going to be other colors. You know, if you painted the things that were doors and wood and trim, black and white, it would probably go a lot better with the brick and make the brick look a lot better too. And then maybe would hold down your maintenance, because once you paint brick, you know, that's a constant maintenance thing about every 5 years. And you have to do that again with a black mansard. That might make it look really nice. So I was just wanting to find out what your thoughts for that overall project were.
And Ms. Gums, Tricon Black is approved, it's an approved color, so if you would like to use black, you can.
Yes, that's what we want to do. Black roof, white building, and white doors with black trim. I just think it'd be really pretty. That's just my opinion.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thank you, Ms. Gomes. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I'll open it up for discussion or motion or.
What was the city's response to this? They wanted to deny it.
There's a section in our rules that say that unless the brick was painted before, that you cannot paint the brick. And that you could paint the brick if you can prove that painting it restores it back to more of the original look.
Oh, okay.
Or that because of other problems, like for instance, water infiltration, that you would, no, we've got to paint the brick because we've got water coming through the brick and into the building.
Oh, okay.
So those were the options in the overlay district rules.
Oh, okay.
So can someone refresh me? Okay, if we can't let her paint the building white, what was the other options you suggested with?
Well, you can always change your shingle color.
Right, and you made a
Because it's shingles on there
recommendation
right now.
of what color?
Well, I mean, the black and white scheme with that brick, because you can see in here how many white and black bricks are popping out of there. A black and white paint scheme without painting the brick, I think would look pretty nice too, particularly if you change that red mansard roof out to a black roof.
Okay, got it.
So that's correct. You can't change the roof lines. It has to remain the way it is.
I agree. I think there are a number of newer structures that are stark white with all black. And yeah, I personally don't think it fits the historic nature of the neighborhood. I think that there's a lot you could do with the existing brick and the trim colors that would make it a little bit more cohesive, but I would personally not be for all white and all black. I think the stark contrast is not overly attractive or has the same historical appeal. I don't know the age of this building. I know that we said, I mean, it's not necessarily any particular style, but that's just my opinion on seeing what has popped up more recently. And the contrast, I think, is just not fantastic. I think it actually pulls out features that you might otherwise want to have withdraw.
Any other discussion?
Well, I've got a thought on this. If we deny the application to paint the building, does she need to come back to readjust her color ideas on that?
So if you deny the request to paint the brick,
Right,
and she chooses not to paint the brick but wants to change the color of maybe the trim or the doors or
Right.
things like that, no, she would not have to come back before you. We can approve that administratively.
okay, so in that case, do you deny this application as is, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Because this is to paint the brick facade.
Right.
Because, Elena, there are pre-approved colors, is that correct?
There are
That's what I thought.
pre-approved paint colors, but not for brick. Specifically
but
painting
for
the brick has to come
Trim
before
and
y'all.
everything, yes, okay.
Okay.
So y'all know, we would not make her reapply if y'all denied this application and she chose to just paint the trim. We would work with her administratively.
Okay.
Here, and maybe staff has some of these, but those are basically the colors that staff can just approve right away. And they don't have to be Sherwin-Williams. They can be another color as long as they're close
Right.
to these staff usually.
Is that based on the Secretary of Interior standards? The paint colors that are pre-approved, is it based on the Secretary of Interior standards for rehab?
No, this was, when we started this whole process many years ago, what we were looking for were things that, combinations of colors that worked well together.
Okay.
Sherwin-Williams just happened to have this American Heritage exterior historic colors. And when we looked at it, there was a lot and lots of buildings in Old Town that you were using these colors, and they were not bright, they were not obtrusive. So we just, as a body, said, well, you know, if you pick out of here, then we don't have to see it because everybody here was happy with those colors. It does not mean that you cannot paint it another color that didn't in here. That's not the point, because people come in all the time with a nice color selection using colors that I would go, I don't know about that one. But when they put it in the combination with the other colors that they are wanting to use, it really looked nice. So we didn't want to be all intrusive. We just want to guide people in a particular direction. So.
Well, then I'm going to make a motion that we denial file PZ 2025-311.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, I'll ask Susan for a roll call vote, please.
Chairman LaBeige,
I guess this is going to be vote for denial of the request.
Commissioner Berube, Commissioner Brannon,
Deny.
Commissioner Crawford, Commissioner Hambright,
Deny.
Commissioner Kelly,
Deny.
Commissioner Macon,
Deny.
Commissioner Raby,
Deny.
Commissioner Segee, Commissioner Strasburger,
Deny.
Commissioner Thomas.
Deny.
Thank you.
Let me say this, Ms. Gumbs, before you leave. Number one, we appreciate you taking a building in Old Town and having enough in your heart to say, I want to make it better. We fight with these rules all the time. I think you can still use your black and white color scheme, and it'll pop that building nicely. But it's very rare that we go against the principles of the rules that we have for that area. But thank you, because we do appreciate you.
And I just want to add that pressure washing that brick will make the white and the black stand out. So if you do the trim and the roof black, that'll pop.
All right, our next file is PZ 2025-322. It's a request for a certificate of demolition to demolish a commercial structure. The applicant is the City of Beaumont, and the location is 2121 McFadden Street. Staff report.
Boyd Meyer, building official, requests a certificate of demolition for the commercial structure located at 2121 McFadden Street, known as the Green Beanery. According to the inspection report, this structure was originally tagged as a substandard structure on June 23, 2025, after a major fire that caused severe structural damage. The property owner boarded and secured the structure following the fire, but has not entered into a work program or communicated plans for repair. Based on the extensive repairs needed for this structure, the building code staff is recommending approval of the raise order. This property is listed in the 1990 Spare Beaumont survey as built circa 1930 and classified as a colonial revival. The recorder noted that the house is structurally sound and well-maintained. The significance of this home is listed as the house is an example of middle-class housing built in the 1920s and 1930s in Beaumont. Planning staff recommends approval of this request. We sent out 12 property owner notices. We got 0 in favor and 0 in opposition. We have the property owner here and our demolition coordinator.
All right, any questions for staff?
On the screen, Tad's going to show y'all some images of the property.
So this is the front of the property. This is the side of the property. This is within another, and that's just an overall map of where it is.
A real shame. At one time, that was a really neat little place to go for dinner, and the little shops there were very nice.
Yes. It is.
I will invite our demolition coordinator, Mr. Silas Clutter, to come up and speak on that.
No, I do not know anything about the interior of the fire, nor has the property owner had us inside to do any kind of interior inspection.
All right, any other questions for staff? If not, would the building owner like to come forward? Please state your name and your address, please, for our records.
My name is Glenn Watts, 7860 Evangeline, Beaumont, Texas, 77706.
Okay, is there anything that you'd like to say about this file?
Sure. The photos previous to this one right here were taken immediately after the fire, where almost all of the doorways and many of the windows had been taken out by the firemen. And so those, of course, have all been boarded up and secured. I would certainly invite Mr. Clutter to come over and we do inspection inside, because when I did have a contractor there, I thought it was more of a minimal amount of structural damage upstairs, where the fire marshal thought the fire had started with a candle in an upstairs bathroom. Okay. And so as far as the recent history of the building, as far as commercial use, that stopped in about 2015. And then after that, I used it for storage. And bad incidents started happening there. I was assaulted twice, and transients hanging out there and so on were a regular occurrence after that. And there was one particular person who I called the police 7 times about, and he was arrested 4 times. And even though all the doors and windows were locked, a good portion of them were boarded over, this particular person always found a way in, whether he took off siding, he took off windows, broke windows or whatever. So it was very, very difficult. And I didn't really give up, but due to the sentimental nature of it, I was having a hard time separating it from it. So after this incident in June, I have decided I'm donating the building to a nonprofit if we get all this worked out, and it will be their offices. And so I've made a short list of 3 nonprofits to approach. I've started with the first one, and I can give you an update maybe in 2 or 3 weeks as we're going through this. And if that doesn't work out, I have 2 more that are on my short list to donate it to. So that it would be repaired, refurbished, and turned into useful and I think good looking space. It would be used on a daily basis.
Have these 3 nonprofits approached you about this?
I approached them.
Okay.
One was mentioned to me in passing, and that is my number one prospect. And we've started talking. And so, but, going through my accountants and legal representation and so on, that's what we're trying to do that before we make an announcement. And then, as I say, there are two other nonprofits that I think would be good for that location, more arts related and so on.
Have there been any bids or anything in terms of what you would be looking at, or what one of these nonprofits would be looking at in terms of restoration?
Probably 100, 150.
But no actual contractor has?
No.
Okay.
It's just when we went through and added up all the different things. And whichever the entity is, I would help start a fund for this restoration, a capital fund for it. And I and other businesses, I would be approaching to make contributions to this.
Yes, ma'am.
So just something for the commission to keep in mind, even however you decide today, if you do make a recommendation of approval of the raise, please note that this does not it's going to be immediately torn down. There is still ample opportunity for Mr. Watts to work with these nonprofits and get on a work program to get this property restored to a safe standard. This property would not go to city council until mid next year. We just bring them to you as promptly as we can, because it is such a tedious process sometimes with the historic structures.
And this is really what I'm asking for.
Yeah, so I just wanted y'all to have that knowledge that however you make your recommendation today, he does still have time to work with our demolition coordinator to get on a work program to get this taken care of. But should you choose today to table or not recommend approval of the raise order, then it will come back before you, as we've seen other structures in the past, should he not make those repairs, to clarify.
Is there a particular reason why you don't want to enter a work program? I don't know I serve on a lot of nonprofit boards. I don't know if any of them that are sitting on $100 and something thousand that they can pull the trigger and say, oh yeah, we want it and we're going to go work on it. You could be talking about years and years and years that it would take for somebody to give a property that needed a lot of work to it, the time to raise the money. It usually takes a year to raise that much money for most of these nonprofits. Is there just not a reason why you just want to fix up the outside? I can understand the inside, but at least fix up the outside so somebody would look at it and go, oh yeah, we'll redo the inside because the outside looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. I'd be willing to talk to Mr. Flutter and to Ms. Elena about this further, but I'm a lot more optimistic in raising money than you seem to be. I really do. Which is a contribution I would make, and people I know who would also.
If you make your contribution right now, you can start working on a work order.
You're right. I had thought of that also. But then I have to work with my accountant and so on, and how that goes, if it can be a deduction or not. And so this is all part of that.
Well, I think what this commission is looking for is a commitment from somebody, and I don't think we're hearing any commitments from you to do anything yet.
You're hearing a commitment that I'm going to donate this to a nonprofit for their offices. That is a commitment, and that will be done.
I just consider the actual residents who live near this existing structure, who I understand that you've had to deal with the issues that you stated, but they also have and would continue to have to deal with that until some sort of occupation of the residents would happen. And I think that's a lot to ask of our neighborhood as well.
And you did say that if we approve or agree to the raise order, he has until mid next year?
Correct. I don't know the exact date of it, but again, these things do not immediately get torn down unless they are an absolute threat, and we have to be able to substantially prove that. As Mr. Clutter says, he has not made an interior inspection. It doesn't seem at risk of,
Not at risk of imminent collapse.
okay, which is something that we take into consideration in these matters. So if commission should so choose today to make approval of the recommendation of a raise order, then again, he still has ample opportunity and time to work through those programs with those nonprofits that he's discussing and sign up on a work program.
Thank you.
We can motivate him. Let's prove this.
Yeah.
And we'll get the ball rolling.
Right. Yeah.
How's the roof? Is it solid? Or is it leaking?
Sorry. I don't know how the roof is affecting the interior of the structure. There are some portions here that you can see that it's not in fantastic shape, but I wouldn't be able to speak with any confidence about how it's affecting the inside of the structure until I do a more thorough inspection of the interior.
'Cause that's my big concern. If there's water infiltrating into that building, it's not gonna last a year, especially being fire burned like it is. It's just, and I hate to.
Which, Silas, I'm sorry.
The fire was confined to one room upstairs along the wall at the bottom. But there was smoke, of course, all the way through. And it was necessary for the firemen, to break out windows and things like that. But to me, and of course, until you come take a look, I think there's minimal structural damage, just that one part right there, where evidently a candle had been knocked over, and that's what set it on fire. And I can tell you that there are no leaks coming from the roof in any part of the original two buildings that are there. And of course, the new kitchen has no leaks in it either.
How long has the building been vacant?
It's 15.
Since 15. Is that correct?
Well, depends on what you mean by vacant. Unused, yes, I have not been using it except for storage since 2015.
And when was the fire? I'm sorry if you said that already.
June of this year.
June of this year, okay.
All right, any other questions for the owner? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clutter to come back to the dais. He does have some things to say.
So we go to council twice a year with our red tag structures for demo consideration. We've got one coming up later this month. So the one after will probably be sometime around March is when we'll take another 50. If y'all approve this one and no action is taken and it's still the same owner, then we would take it with that 50.
And to clarify on that point, if y'all do approve this raise order and Mr. Watts does get into a work program and things do start progressing and moving forward, he may not be considered in that 50. Mr. Clutter will work with him as long as there's ample improvement being shown.
All right, is there any other discussion? If not, I'll look for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve PZ 2025-322.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Susan, would you give us a roll call vote, please?
Chairman LaBiche,
Approve.
Commissioner Berube. Approve. Commissioner Brannon,
Approve.
Commissioner Crawford, I'm sorry, can you please turn on your mic?
I'm just going to abstain on this one because I would rather talk a little more
So
to him.
you'll either need to vote yes or no. To abstain, you have to have a substantial interest in the
No.
commercial interest.
Yes. Approve.
Voting yes, okay. Commissioner Hambright,
I approve.
Commissioner Kelly,
Approve.
Commissioner Macon,
Approve.
Commissioner Ravy,
Approve.
Commissioner Segee, Commissioner Strasburger,
Approve.
Commissioner Thomas.
Approve.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to last item on our agenda is the Historic District Code Enforcement Report.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Abigail. I'm the Oaks Historic District Inspector. I'll be reporting on the month of September 2025. 12 PC affidavits were completed and 12 charges were filed. 8 court appearances, 1 new general nuisance violation, and 16 general nuisance re-inspections. 45 historic violations and 53 historic re-inspections. 3 historic preservation court re-inspections, 60 planning and zoning HLC progress inspections, 2 stop work orders were posted, 5 new junk motor vehicle violations, and 6 junk motor vehicle re-inspections, with 2 tagged junk motor vehicles, 3 48-hour re-inspections, and 9 new litter violations. 18 litter re-inspections with 6 court re-inspections. 6 new weed violations with 187 weed re-inspections. 33 city compliance cut inspections and 2 owner compliance cut inspections. 14 new zoning violations and 10 zoning re-inspections. 1 zoning court re-inspection, 1 search warrant, 8 graffiti re-inspections, 15 bandit signs removed, and 13 311 service requests responded to, for a total of 551 inspections for the month of September.
Wonderful. I've got a request. I've started noticing a lot of porches in the Oaks Historic District. People are starting to load them up with all kinds of things. There are some ordinances of what's allowed on the porch and what is not allowed on the porch. Can we take a look at that?
Yes, there is a stacking ordinance as well as a rodent harborage ordinance. Those can address issues with items stacked on porches.
Well, I thought, and I might be mistaken, that it was only outdoor furniture that it was allowed. If you've got tables and indoor furniture and stuff like that on your porch, that's not allowed.
That is correct. That includes like couches and things. Those are not allowed on the porches either.
And anytime you see such, I very much encourage you to use that handy dandy 311 app we have. And please report
I just
it.
don't see anybody enforcing those regulations.
I will say Miss Abigail is our only inspector for our entire Oaks Historic District. It spans, I believe it's like 32 total streets. So I mean, she is in and out every day. So again, whenever you see those violations, if you will snap a picture, put it on that 311 app, it goes directly to her desk from there. So.
And I will say, sometimes it does take a while to address issues like that, especially if court has to be involved. It can take a few months for the courts to address that.
Okay.
Have you made any communication with 2320 Harrison? Because now they have, I mean, it's like doubled the stuff from when I called last week.
Yes, ma'am. We have sent litter violations to them.
So I was wondering if you contacted them, so in spite, they doubled the stuff outside.
You don't like this?
Yeah.
Here's some more.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Really bad. Thank you.
All right, there's nothing else. We'll
Hold on,
consider
Mr.
this
Leach.
meeting
Oh,
adjourned.
wait, don't adjourn. We do have one more matter of business. As you arrived today, you are all given very fancy new books.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is the updated version of the America's Heritage. I spoke a little bit about it with Ms. Macon before the meeting. It is that same book that we all know and love. It is a new version with updated information, a very great pictorial glossary at the front. It's amazing. You can literally look at a house, go find a picture of the window in the front of the book, and it'll tell you all about the architecture of the house. It is great. We do ask if you were provided a old book by the city of Beaumont, if you will please return it. And then for these books here, at the end of your service of your term, if you would please return these, do feel free to, mark up, make notes, because they are helpful to future commissioners. But just make sure they are returned to us, please.
Awesome. I'll bring mine in.
Thank you all. Welcome all of our new members. We're glad to have you, excited about your service, and thank you, old members, too, for all the years of service. We appreciate it.
Corey West?